Yeah, I got a question though. Does Toby know like that we be going so hard like to his music? Like, does he know how much we rock with the song? Like to the point, like
yeah, for sure.
he do? Has he heard it with the podcast? Has he told you anything?
Yeah. I mean, he knows we sample it and he show love.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like it made his whole day because he converses with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
First of all.
I'm just saying. No. But I definitely was like, hey, bro, you know we rock heavy with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so
he was
today's
like, cool.
episode is going to be super fire because my wife...
Hey, God, I'm going to call you back. He cut me all the way off.
Oh, I bet you
No,
still talking.
it's all good. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
No, I know it was out of love.
So you
right,
you
cool.
know you
It was
already
just
know
rude.
that that's the role he plays on the show.
Wait, what happened?
Huh? He plays a major role in my life.
See, this is what's happening.
That's my guy.
All right. Oh, no.
My guy.
No. Keyword. Judas.
It's going to be good. Nah, today's episode is going to be great. I got Tracy with me. What's up, boo? You good?
Mm-hmm. Yep, amazing.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's get it.
All right, so what we talking about today?
All right. So I did this guy's, it wasn't a podcast. It was like...
Was it a Facebook Live?
It was
or Instagram?
It was an Instagram live.
Uh-huh.
And I went on and he was just like, bro, tell me the secret to your success, blah, 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 blah. So I was just like, bro, like me and my wife have built a lot. And people who know, they know. Like they know. They be like, oh, Jeremy, you blah, blah, blah. But I have a lot of respect for people that's like, bro, what you and your wife has built. I'm like, yeah, you got common sense. You know what I'm saying? But my man was just like, asking me what's the secret to my success. So I was just like, well, truth be told, like everything I do, I bring it before God, but like me and my wife are in one accord.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I was sharing that with him, he was like, wow, that's deep. Let's unpack it some more. I was like, yo, I'm always running things by my girl because if it makes sense, bet. And there be some things she's shutting down and we not in one accord. We just made a pact to not make a move until we're on the same page. And so one of the guys in the comments was just like, during the Q&A, he was just like, yo, at one point, does a man just have to be a man and make decisions?
You should have told him to post his last check stub.
He probably
not to stunt, but just for vulnerability. Because when you get that 897 back and you live in 3 digits, like I'm not saying that ain't people out there doing it just moving up. I'm just saying like when you get that check stub and you be like, yeah, a woman probably would have added a couple commas to that. But
no, that's a fact. A couple zeros to it.
But because you want to live in your own truth. Right. You want to be IED, whatever the independent Webby song is.
No, definitely. No. How about IN?
That's what I said.
No, you said ID.
I said ID.
Yes.
Oh, you
definitely
said ID.
All right, so we're gonna cut that.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we're gonna cut that.
Yeah.
Why come you can't spell it without saying the song?
I don't know. You gotta sing it.
Like that. I learned how to spell independent.
No. That's
okay,
a fact.
whatever.
Who'd have known rap was fundamental?
But he
you know
could
what
have
I'm
learned
saying?
something, right?
And he was probably single.
You said
Because
listen,
more than likely, or probably not like in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's like once you get into a serious relationship, you know that your life can be a living disaster if your significant other don't agree with what you're doing. And it's like, why make it hard on yourself when y'all could just agree from the beginning? Why? Yeah. I'm not saying agreeing is easy all the time, but why make it harder on yourself?
And sometimes Jeremy and I don't always agree, on things.
Because we are 70% of the time we don't agree.
Yeah, because we're completely opposites when it comes to making decisions, or I'll say our thought process.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes it takes me longer to come around.
Hey, God bless real quick. I think that's a sponsorship that we're about to get in the future. Right. I think that's from
You're crazy.
Mac.
Yeah.
God bless him.
So you think we don't agree?
No.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
No. Not 100% of the time. And sometimes, decisions are easy, but our thought process if he presents something to me or if I present something to him, sometimes it takes us a couple of days, sometimes weeks, to finally make a decision. And it's really with financial decisions is where we differ the most.
Got you.
When it comes to like some branding things, she's like okay with some things. But when it comes to spending money, I'd be ready to put together a whole proposal.
All right. Yeah.
She'd be like, nope.
Do you think that growing up, maybe not having that much money, makes you more like frugal and not wanting to spend more money?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. 1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeremy, I guess this is an example.
Okay.
So
I like examples, Tracy.
I don't necessarily think that we should have blowout birthday parties for our kids every year.
Okay,
right?
we should have made a pact not to talk about certain things on the podcast.
Oh,
But go
okay.
ahead.
Right.
No, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there.
Right. So I don't,
Yeah.
just blow it out like, every year.
Mhm.
Like, it's like amazing, right?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Jeremy,
give her this smoke. Go ahead.
yes. But Jeremy thinks that we should blow it out every year. And I get it. Birthdays, you celebrate them. They're amazing. But he told me that I think that way is because
People about to judge me.
I love it. Jeremy, that's being wrong. Go ahead. What you
it's
say?
because we didn't grow up like that.
Oh, you
You
said
know,
it nicer.
right.
No, Tracy. I want to know what he said
She's
because
definitely
I want to
covering
say
me
what
right
did he
now.
say that got him canceled?
No,
Because
honey,
in his
you're in the
mind, he felt
spirit.
himself getting canceled, and you just saved him. I want to know what Jeremy was afraid of. What is the line that he was waiting for you to say that he was afraid of?
No, he said that just because we didn't grow up that way.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
basically what it was in a nutshell, is that, because we did not grow up,
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
middle class or
we grew-
upper class.
Mhm.
How'd you
But
grow
is
up,
that
Jay?
because our parents, didn't necessarily have it, right?
Right,
Like I
same.
didn't grow up having birthday parties every year. I can probably count on one hand from 1 to 18 how many
Right.
birthday parties, like big parties that I had.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Do you think any of it comes from also not wanting to overdo it so that your kids think like that's the standard when they
100% sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 1000%.
yeah.
Yes. I need them to be humble,
Yeah.
but they
Because
are.
they're starting off with a lot more. So that
Oh,
humility is going to have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Say yeah.
We probably need to have a part 2 for that, right? So when we had this conversation, let's just not even speak in theory. We were planning out Jules' 9th birthday party.
Uh-huh.
And so she wanted to have like a really dope sleepover with tents and lights. And she saw something that Patti LaBelle did, was inspired for her granddaughter. So we were going to do it. But I'm like, yo, we need to throw a party so the whole family can celebrate
Right.
the life of our baby girl. So she was like, well, 9 is not a significant date.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it is. Then I wanted to call the party Divine 9.
Please. Okay.
I thought that would be cool.
Please.
Did you pledge?
Please.
No,
we
but
don't
it's
need to
just the
stay here.
point. Like, she's divine.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? She's turning 9.
Okay.
So she should shine.
I see. Oh.
Ooh.
I see. No. I'm not
Okay.
complimenting.
Oh, that
I see
wasn't a
what you tried
compliment.
to do.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it, but
All
I
right.
do see what you was on your. No. I
So
can't.
she shut
I
it
can't
down.
accept
And
that.
matter
Right.
of fact, I
Okay,
think
so
everybody
that's-
has shut it down.
that's
And
a-
if you're not
Everybody
feeling it,
shut
then
it
it's
down.
definitely a no-go.
Okay.
So I was just like, let's throw a
Okay.
shot. We
That's
talking about throwing a
blasphemous.
party.
Right.
So
right.
Tracy was like, well, it's not a significant birthday. And my thing is, who made that rule? Who made the rule? No disrespect, but I feel like poverty has made that rule.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to say anything else because I don't want nobody to be defended, but I just feel like when we were growing up, we didn't have it to be able to throw a big party every single year. And so I said, Trace, the reason why her mom, who loved her, probably didn't give you a party every year is because she could not afford it. But I'm thinking like, why not like celebrate? You know what I'm saying? If we can. And so I think that's kind of where, so we had to kind of retrain our mind, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, what we do and what we're able to do. And so
Yeah.
what I don't want to do is not do for my children. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every generation should get better. And so I guess that's kind of where we were.
Yeah.
So I respect where both of y'all coming from. My question is, are you as intentional about her humility or understanding her gratitude of the things that y'all do for her?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Because then that's how you balance, I feel like, the giving. Because I feel like she definitely deserves what she gets. I just feel like you have to also be intentional in making sure that she understands, like, this is not normal, babe. Like, this is something you be grateful for. And we work very hard to provide you with this so that when she grows up, she has an attitude of service, whether it's at least she's not afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's not something that she's running from because everything has been I guess, handed.
Oh,
But
let me
Yeah.
tell you, she.
what's
You
the
already,
face?
you already
Trace,
know. She just don't be having that issue because
right, because
we
y'all
will
don't play.
humble her so quick.
Facts, y'all don't
Right.
play.
Do
Y'all-
not play. Do not play with that. As
No,
far
that
as,
question's for the viewers.
oh yeah,
For
the
Yeah.
humility
context.
and the
Yeah.
humbleness. Yes, does she, act out sometimes, but
Oh,
that
we was
is-
going to
Yeah.
blow it out.
Oh, but that
We was
is
going to do
just
like a
not-
2-day celebration thing. But then Joy had a little situation. Was like, oh, Tracy was like, oh, we ain't doing nothing. Like, you're not having both now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And she really didn't?
no,
for sure.
she did
See,
not.
that's the difference between when a woman says something to a little girl and a dad says something to a little girl. Because I think it's because you're less sensitive because you're a woman. With us, I can say something and I can say something to, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You got kids.
Oh, for sure.
Are you the same way with Jackson when you're harsh as you are with Jewel? Or
They're
does-
different ages, so it's different
That's
stages.
true.
But
It's
I'll be on Jewel's head.
Okay, you
Because
do.
I know my boo-boo privileged. I'm like, we are not raising a spoiled brat.
True.
And Tracy know it.
True.
Yeah, I don't play no games.
Okay.
I got so mad at her the other day. I said, if you was a boy, I was just hot. I was so mad.
Jay, what did you say? Matter of fact, don't tell us.
I'm
Don't
not
tell
gonna
us.
say.
So we want this podcast to continue. If you was a boy,
Wait,
wait a
hold
second.
on.
Did he turn
she made
on
me
her?
so. I was so mad. I was like, go to your room. Because Jewel ain't got spankings in years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's way past that. But we just take her tablet and that just messed her whole world up. But this isn't about how dope of parents we are.
No,
right? This
yeah,
is really
it's about
What y'all are.
you making decisions.
Yeah.
I guess without me, but I think that to be successful, or especially in a successful marriage, like the husband and the wife need to be on one
Facts.
accord.
Facts.
Like I don't feel like that if you don't have each other's support, then you won't be successful.
Yeah, it'll make it harder to be anything.
I would probably say almost impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you going against the tide. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like you trying to climb an uphill battle carrying something. It's just different. So when it comes to and then we talked. When he talked, like when it came to Jewel's birthday party, I was like, all right, let's put a number on it. You know what I'm saying? And then I try to find ways to, increase the number, you know what I'm saying? But we kind of in one accord, we running things by each other to make sure we in the same space. But that's a real small level. We do the same thing when it comes to trucking, how we're going to grow different companies, what we're going to invest in. When it comes to cryptocurrency, I'd be like, ooh, boo, let's move some money here. She's like, not that much. And so she's into protection mode.
Yeah.
Tracy's all about protecting the family, protecting what we built. She's all about the saving, you know what I'm saying? But the way I'm wired, she, like Tracy, real quick, she would look at numbers, be like, all right, let's cancel the cable. And I'm like, come on, boo, like for real. She's so gangster. She would go so extreme, like
Tracy,
cancel cable.
Cancel it.
She
said, I'm
like,
sick of it.
We
No
have
more.
Wi-Fi. Why do we need cable?
You feel me?
Right.
I'm like, honey, I like
We don't
really.
even watch TV like
Not
that.
the cable.
Right, she's
Right,
like,
that
this extra
cable.
85
Let
we
me
could
tell
be
you
saving. And I'm
But
like,
she's more
man, let's just-
practical. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
Cancel
she's like,
it
let's
all.
save. I'm like, let's make more money.
Oh.
Let's make more money.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
back in the day, we didn't have that option. Back in the day, we was like in shackle to whatever they gonna give us.
How far back in the day you going? I just didn't know. We got a lot of history in this podcast.
All right.
I didn't know how far back we was going. This next
That's
level-
actually really funny.
My bad.
No,
y'all.
I'm saying like, saying like
That's level
years,
bondage.
like when we were just depending on others, but now we can set our own path.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, how about we make different investments? But the point of the story is we don't make no moves without being in one accord. So when that person on that interview or when that person during that live said that, I was like, bro, for one, you don't get it. Like I am where I am because of Tracy.
Right.
Right. And I know she's not, and it took me to my time to mature, but I realized I am where I am because of her and I wouldn't be here without her.
Right.
And she's in protection mode and I'm trying to move the needle. She's like on defense and I'm on offense. And if you look at any championship team, you know what I'm saying, they winning because you got a strong defense and a strong offense. I'm gonna put up buckets.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I'm gonna make the money. Like, don't
Come
get
on,
twisted.
Brian.
And she
But-
gonna make sure
but you need
that we
your
make the
AD.
wise investments, you know what I'm saying, and what we do with it and watch it and make sure ain't nobody stealing from us, make sure the taxes is done, making sure we able to flip this and handle that. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt my feelings sometimes when she's like, no, we can't spend that. And I be feeling a certain type of way, like, look here. And then I fall back in the spirit and I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's how we get the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But
And it took us a while to get here though. Like it wasn't always like this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's an example? Like what's one business that you guys agree on now that one of you guys wasn't with earlier? And how did y'all transition to that? Without giving too many details about it specifically, like what's one that somebody else was just like passionate about? Other one's just like, needed some convincing, but then eventually it's like, okay, I'm okay with this.
Oh, bringing Mike on the podcast.
Hold on real quick. Hello? Yes, God, this contradicts everything he said on the previous episode.
No.
I heard about prayer and fasting. Now
You
today
crazy.
he said it wasn't
What
true.
was one thing?
It's crazy.
What is one thing?
That maybe one of us wasn't feeling, but then we came around.
The Sprinter van. That was a while ago.
Selling it or getting rid of it or buying
No,
it?
buying it.
The one the
next level?
the old one?
The old one.
Oh, you didn't want to
Even-
get that one?
No, remember we couldn't decide on one because you wanted to spend more money. Or you mean like business?
No, that's good. This is good. Continue. Continue. Jeremy's not sure, so Tracy, you start.
So we could go back to the Sprinter van.
I want the
what was you
real.
thinking?
Jeremy's trying to edit. At this moment, he's trying.
No, I'm trying to think of something more relevant as opposed to something 7 years ago.
No. That's fine. I want to hear it.
Okay, go ahead.
Sprinter van's popular. That's the Grace Tour van, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, that's pivotal to the brand. I want to hear it.
So the Grace Tour van. So we had just moved here, and yeah, it was actually about 7 years ago around this time because Joel was turning 2 when we had just moved here, which is crazy. I know, right?
Jeez.
Yep. And so we had gotten a donation, and he wasn't working like that. And so I think we were in marriage counseling. And we could not decide on what Sprinter van to purchase, right? So he wanted to spend a lot of money. I did not want to spend the money.
I wanted to make a strong investment.
Because you what?
I wanted money left
Yes,
over
to make sure
from the
everything-
donation
Yes.
because we had to start paying payroll
Yeah.
and we were traveling. So we were getting hotels and a whole bunch of things. And
I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was trying to
none of
floss.
it. We had bills to pay. And how much was the donation for? Like
It was like
25,000?
25,000.
Yeah, so we got a donation for 25,000, right? And so Jeremy wanted to spend the whole check plus some
the Google
on
whistle
a
in there.
Sprinter van for us to travel in, which, back then, I mean, it was a lot of money, but we were about to be in this van for weeks at a time, like a whole bunch of people. And so we argued and argued about what to spend. And our counselor told us that.
And we were trying to find the van.
And we were trying to find a van. So our counselor told us is that the perfect van will come and it will not be more than the donation check.
And she was like, but it's not going to come until y'all in one accord.
That's exactly what she
real?
said.
I was hot. That was such a bold statement.
Yes.
I was so hot.
That was such a bold statement.
Yes.
You want to accept it.
I did not want to accept it. I was like, miss me with that because I know I'm right here.
Right.
She was like, until y'all get in one accord, it's not going to come.
Right. And we got in one accord, and guess what? We found the van.
Just like that.
How long did it take for y'all to get on one accord after that?
I think we just had a conversation.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We not dodo, bro.
That's the
I be
thing.
working with couples. They be fussing and yelling and cussing at each other. And I be like, y'all weird. Like, we ever raise our voice unless we calling each other, Tracy, hey, where you at, girl?
Yeah.
But besides that, like, we ain't never cuss unless you did, damn, you looking good, honey. And I'm like, thank you.
Okay, you know what? Like at this point, I'm sick of Jay. Like at this point, I'm sick of him. I thought he was gonna say that about her. He said that's how she talked about him.
It's just the point. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's just
like for real.
the
And people
point.
think that's just that energy. I don't know. Why I never, you know what I'm saying? So it's been pretty smooth, but we got in one accord.
We did.
We had a conversation.
We did.
You know what I'm saying? You was in the spirit and you finally realized.
Definitely not.
Or the other way around.
Yes,
But we did settle on a van.
We did.
And right when we was in one accord, we were in a better place.
Yep.
Spiritually, emotionally. And then that van came to us.
Yep.
You know, and it was a good price.
Was the rap in the budget too?
Yep. Because there was money left over, Mike, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
Come on, Trey.
Yeah.
See, this is why we gotta get her on here more often.
I be asking her
Tracy
too.
be dropping.
How many
bombs.
often I be asking you to come on?
Every episode.
She be like, I'm good. I be like, well, whenever you're ready, you gotta open it.
That's dope.
So would you say that counseling encouraged you guys to be on one accord, or were you guys kind of on one accord going into like counseling throughout your relationship? How has it been as far as like knowing that you need to be on one accord in order to move forward with major decisions?
So counseling was key.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have counseling, it'd probably be someone else sitting here right now.
Wow.
In your seat or hers?
Wow.
In her seat, but we wouldn't be sitting here.
Anyway,
how about that?
Yeah, you
that,
wouldn't be
though?
sitting here. My goodness.
You like that? Hey,
I'm
Please
sick. I'm
excuse
sick
him.
of it. Like,
No,
no. I'm
You
getting sick.
didn't, I didn't get the whole statement out.
I'm getting sick of it.
That was actually beautiful, huh?
Why do you always try to get a cosign from the person you offend?
That wasn't the
Like, I'm sick of it. No. This is ridiculous. He's like, yeah, babe, but you can understand why I would replace you, right? No,
I wouldn't have
she
replaced
wouldn't.
her. I'm just saying we would have probably went our separate ways. Tracy, know what I'm saying? We was in a very weird spot. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah, but you didn't hear the other part.
You never said
Though it might be someone else right here, we wouldn't be right here. Facts.
You'd have been in them chairs in a different.
Listen,
crib.
man, I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think
tell
he
you,
would have
bro.
had
We
those
would
chairs
not.
It could have been them two chairs in a sprinter.
It wouldn't have been no
It'd have been
chairs.
y'all on that
It'd be
sprinter.
these two
like,
chairs up in a,
It'd have been
you know what I'm
those-
saying, a little, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else.
No,
but we
it
wouldn't
would-
be here.
It would have been the party folding chairs.
They'd be like, babe, let's drive the sprinter to Chipotle. Not for lunch,
Facts. Okay.
for work.
No, listen to me. Let me say something. Let me say
shout
something
out
here.
Chipotle, though.
Let me say something here so that people get where I'm coming from, right? Like, so, I was being silly. But for real, there was a time when we was really like, yo, what we gonna do? We gonna keep fighting for this thing, or we gonna dismantle it? Like, let's be clear. It was sometimes she was like, you know what? You boom, boom. I was like, you know what? Boom, boom. But we made a commitment in the covenant. And so we fought through it, and praise God, because we're on the other side now.
Yeah.
But there could have been someone else here, but we would not have been here. I wouldn't be where I am today. Man, when I first got with Tracy, I didn't even know how to put together a resume, dog.
Yeah.
So even the jobs I would get at restaurants or Mutual of Omaha or Wildtech, I wouldn't even landed them jobs if I ain't have you to put together a resume. You had the fire credit. I had the poo-poo credit.
Yeah.
Our first house that we built that I also always testify about, what people don't know is that was primarily in her name on her credit. You feel me? But we in a different season now because she built me up, because she encouraged me.
How
You know what I'm
great.
saying? Now
Yeah.
we're in a different season, and now the home we in now was backed off of my credit. You feel me? But I wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here if you wasn't, you know what I'm saying, in my life, if we didn't fight for this thing.
Hey, y'all pause the episode right now and see what minute this is, because y'all need to put in the comments that y'all want to see a clip from this on the podcast page, because that was a whole bar.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
And that's just the fact.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And so I've learned, but that, man, Crystal, the pride.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. My pride at times would kick in where it's like, I really want to do things. And she'd be like, I'm not feeling it. And I would go to God angry. I remember one time Dr. Mobley was like, any beef you have with your wife, take it up with God, because he wired her that way. And I'd go to God like, she, dot, 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 dot. And God was just like, man, if you don't sit your butt down, she ain't steered you wrong yet. You sitting here making assumptions. Like, it's not that she don't, I would be good like, she ain't got faith, but like, man, she got faith. She also got common sense. And it's also timing. Delayed is not denied. Sit your butt down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, wow. Then he would take me down memory lane and I would get hot at him, like, because he would remind me of a time when I did something when she told me not to. You know, it was some times when she helped me get my credit right. And now I'm out here like a free bird. Nicole, I think I know what I'm doing now. And then my credit tanked 60 points. And she'd be like, I told you. She the queen of that. She the queen of my heart, but she is the queen of I told you so. Can I just say that? What, say it again?
I am. I admit it. Yes.
She admits it.
I admit it.
Yes. And if there's ever, and
I'll put it nicely though.
huh?
I'll put it nicely.
Yeah, and that's like, I told you. I'd be like, but when she right, I'll give it to her. I'd be like, and that's the thing, I don't run from it. I'd be like, hey, boo, you was right. She'd be like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't get the energy back, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'm getting better.
Okay, praise God.
She said, I'm getting better.
right. All right.
Yo, this is dope, man. My question for y'all is, what is the greatest reward from building together? Matter of fact, let's leave it at that. We don't need to be a two-part question. What's the greatest reward if y'all building together?
When you say building together, what you mean? Because there's a few different ways we can go there.
Success.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would say doing it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Really?
saying?
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's such a cute answer.
Yeah, like doing it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's nothing like, I guess, having somebody who you support and who supports you,
yep,
and then seeing like the fruits of your labor. Yeah.
facts. Yep.
Yeah.
How would
nothing
y'all
like it.
explain, like, how does that feel? Like, how would you express that in terms of a feeling? For those of us who haven't experienced that with someone, like, how does that feel?
I don't know. That's real deep.
And for somebody who's aspiring to that, like, that's dope. Like, that's gold.
I'll just say this here. It feels good to have a vision and a game plan. Like we forecasting a few years out now, and then see that thing come into fruition. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, you know, that's the biggest thing for us to set out on a plan, have a challenge, have solutions, fight through it, and be on the other side.
But sometimes, you know, you have to take a step back because you don't realize, or sometimes you don't see the things that have transpired because sometimes you're so busy. Like we literally are so busy sometimes it's hard to like see the things that have come into fruition or even realize it. So, I mean, I definitely recommend writing it down because
sometimes I had to tell Tracy, like, hey, boo, you know we're not in 2017 anymore, right? Like I have to let her know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to tell her, like, you know, we're in a different season now. Been here for a little while now, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, okay. Because she's in that protection mode. Like she's in that, let's say, like live below our means. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like she keeps me and us grounded. But there are times when she's like, no. And I'm like, but babe, I've even learned not to even come to you with certain things with too much enthusiasm. If I could have Tracy with something like, hey, boo, check this out. Every time, because what you be thinking when I do that?
I don't know.
I come to
like,
Tracy now
again.
calculated. Like, hey, boo, I was thinking about something. I read this article, but I'm not sure. What do you think? I'll just be throwing it out there. Because if I come with too much enthusiasm, she'd be like, nah, I'm not hearing it. Why you doing me like that, boo?
I don't know.
Because you're a high D.
Yeah, and the high I.
Which
I'll be having to let her know
I?
the outgoing, gregarious personality.
That's probably what I was referring to. What's the D?
The D is more dominant, more direct.
I meant high I.
Yeah.
Because you high I. And so we got that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you got that to somebody who's more logical as a higher...
She's thinking the logic isn't in there.
She's like, he's bringing me energy to make a decision. She's like, let me put logics on it. So she cancels all the energy and it's like, all right, let me hear the facts. And it's just like,
that was really good.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Dope. Okay, cool.
He like, I got it right. That was good.
I mean, just
right.
me.
But what she doesn't realize is that before my excitement and before the energy kicks in, I've already broke down the logic. And that's what gets me excited at the fact that it's like, yo, this makes sense. I don't get excited off the theory.
Yeah.
And can you think I've gotten better?
Oh yeah.
5-7 years ago, I'd just be like, oh boy, this is dope. But now, because I know you and you helped me keep me grounded, you've taught me so much. Now I know it's just like, okay, what is Tracy gonna come to the table with? What's gonna make her apprehensive about it? What are some of the warning signs? What are some of the red flags? And then I'm like, let me eliminate that. And I'm like, oh, it still makes sense. That's when I come to you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually realizing that I see you the same way in smaller aspects. There's been time when you brought guests onto the podcast or you told us about certain individuals we was going to link up with that I've never met before. And I've got excited to meet them off of the strength of you vouching for them. Does that make sense? Because I know how intentional you are with certain spaces and certain things. And so what I do is I give them the most that you know instead of the most that they would meet one-on-one simply off of the strength of what you've introduced them to me as. Does that make sense? So it's just like, yo, Mike, this is my partner, this is my brother, this, So I'm going to give them the same most that you get off of the strength of how you introduced them to me. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I'm just saying how much I've learned to value and respect when it comes to something that you value too. Yeah. So I can see what you say.
Yeah. That's also important. I mean, that's what friendship is all about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we were friends first. So
That's true.
Then I finally gave her a shot. She was persistent. Y'all not buying that?
Bro, we heard you already broke this
You
down.
not
said
buying
this is
that?
the last time.
Bro,
We're
we-
You're
still not buying
Bro,
it.
we
Okay, I know
remember
we
the-
had some new listeners that was gonna buy that.
Oh, true.
We're-
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. For y'all
yeah,
new listeners,
yeah.
listeners, you might need to go through episodes 1 through 4 real quick. Just do your homework.
But
Okay.
but really, I think that we've both had to grow, and maybe you could talk about how you've had to kind of stretch your faith and not be so locked in on the logic, because there is a difference between, the risk, high risk, high reward, so maybe you could speak to that, because typically she's the more conservative, defense, saving. I'm the more aggressive, assertive, offense, put up points. But now I find myself in a different season because she's rubbed off so much on me, and I've learned a lot from her to say, you know what, let me be more calculated. And I would honestly say I've kind of seen you be willing to make some bigger investments or some bigger moves that had me think like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Have I rubbed off on you a little bit?
Yes, you have. Just a little bit. Because I do not like to spend.
Right.
Yes.
But it takes to make it.
It does take it to make it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that, that's also where, faith comes in. But you also have to have faith and common sense,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What did ET tell you one time? He said signs are for the weak.
Signs are for the
Signs are
weak.
for the
Yeah.
You got to move.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would you say it's been balanced pretty much throughout your relationship, throughout your success? Like if you're way turned up, Tracy's like, all right, let me bring you down. If Tracy's like, okay, we can take more risks, and you're like, okay, boo, let's look at this. Like, is that balance always there somehow, some way? Or is it just like it's been out of whack and then y'all had to get the balance back together? I mean, now it seems like you guys are kind of a little bit of both, but Tracy's more, common sense and logical and practical. And you're like, all right, I'm still going to dream and do this and do that.
I can say we're probably pretty balanced now. And I have I'm more of a steady personality. Like I'm always stable, kind of even kill, and I'm sure, y'all already know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I really try to get turned up sometimes.
Wait. This just in. When was this? what part of your life was this?
I mean, I really be trying, but
It just
Tracy.
I
uncomfortable.
just can't. I just can't.
Tracy,
I don't
Tracy.
know what
It
it
is
is.
Tracy,
It's like
wait.
a switch. Like
Yo.
I promise.
Yeah, we having a breakthrough right now. I want to know what's happening.
No.
Like I've never heard this part of Tracy
Keep
ever
going,
in my
bro.
Yeah.
This
life.
is good.
You what?
No, I really be trying.
Okay, so
You for
where
real?
when you on vacation?
Like I try, but it's like something inside my body. It's just like,
what
no.
are you doing?
It's like, what are you doing?
Stop this. What is going on? You need to calm down. What is Jeremy voice inside of Tracy? Everybody calm
Oh
down.
my goodness. What is the party in Tracy look like?
I don't know. It's just not in me. I
Discomfort.
don't know. I really be trying. It's just like a switch or something,
That is so deep.
I've never heard this ever.
That is so
And
deep.
what's so funny is that I never knew that you ever cared about getting excited. I was just like, actually, that's just not a space Tracy ever chooses to tap into.
Tracy like,
And
nah,
then
I've
hearing
been
Tracy
there.
on the other
I've
side,
done
like,
that.
Mike, don't you dare. I be trying. I want to turn up too. You and Jay have all the fun. No, we're crazy.
Oh man.
Just let me find
That
out
is-
who would have known.
Yeah.
That is
I had,
really
Yep.
no, this is going viral.
That's
that is
funny.
really
She said, I
funny.
be trying.
So that means small talk is probably not your specialty either, huh?
Oh no.
Oh,
I hate
no.
it. I
No, it's like a slow death.
absolutely.
It's like a slow
Oh, I
death
am
for her.
small talk captain. Like,
Well, you're most
I-
talk, so you talk all the time.
that's
Anyway.
true. But what I did need from you was that. So what I'm going to
She
do
brought
is
it back home. She brought it back home.
Like, no,
She
bro.
brought it back home.
Bro, she hates the sun. She just hates it. She loves shade. Like, so what?
This light beaming right now. I love it. And that one. So like we
So-
were saying,
Yeah.
I was waiting for you
Um,
at the door.
yeah.
So as it relates to that, she is very and that
very
used
even
to
keeled.
zap me.
What?
That used to hurt me. Nicole, that used to zap me. That used to hurt me. Cause I would want to be so excited, but she'd be like, I'm good. She could come in and be like, I just got you a speaking engagement I could be like, boo, Ebony just called me. I got 1 gig for $100,000. She'd be like, oh man, praise God. And I'm like, that's all you got? Hey, Nicole, here, take this real quick. I'd be like, that's all you got? Toss this, Nicole. Call Courtney back. Call Courtney for me.
Nice with
I'm like, that's all you got? I'm like, you not? And she's like, no, I'm excited for you, but it's just.
I'm excited on the inside.
That's
Right.
it. So I've learned to run with it.
But here's the thing. Tracy's also a very peaceful, calming person.
Right.
So I feel like if you would disrupt that with too much, it's going to disrupt the way her body is actually functioning.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's going to make her like, okay, I'm uncomfortable in my own skin now.
Yeah.
So it's, but that's also her superpower because you so turned up. You can't have somebody matching your same energy every day.
Right.
Otherwise, it will be too much for you and you couldn't focus on being you.
Right.
She's your balance.
It's the perfect balance.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like, yo, if you get blessed with a spouse, a girlfriend, soon to be fiance, then wife, like, yo, don't try to change her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like now we growing. You know what I'm saying? We be finishing other sentences. We be picking up each other's jargon.
Mm-hmm.
We moving as a unit now. It's certain things she know not to bring to me. It's certain things I know not to bring to her. But that's how we win it because we in one accord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, but here, I'm going to share with y'all what our next level is. Because there are some struggles that we're having now, and I'm going to talk about it. But our next level now is like, okay, how do we go from where we are now to that higher level? So now we have to step outside of ourselves, and now we got to tap into some others that can help us go higher. I feel like we've kind of hit, in a sense, almost like the pinnacle, but it's a whole nother level. I feel like we've gone as far as we're going to take ourselves, but now in certain circles, and now we need more mentorships. You know what I'm saying? I even had some conversations with her, like, you need to probably get in this group. You need to probably get in this community. I'm going to go here. I'm going to get this mentor to go to that next level. Because there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we kind of looking at now to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, we brought ourselves far. It's levels to it.
So how do y'all see the differences between you all? Well, before I ask that question, do you have friends or other people who, like, where the man like brings in the money or the woman brings in the money, and it's not like a together thing? Like, do you see a different dynamic, like in terms of like their communication or partnership? Because sometimes somebody hold down the house, like real old school, and then do other stuff, and it's like it may not be on the same level in terms of business, but family and everything. Like, do y'all peep like the differences between other couples and different stuff like that? Or do y'all see some stuff and y'all just like, I like what y'all doing, like I support y'all, but we totally different. Me and my wife moved up totally different than that. And not just ethics, but just in communication, just in terms of, you know what I'm saying? And like, do y'all both peep it? And do y'all like give a look and like, yeah, that ain't us. But I love it if you like it type thing.
No, I mean, I think everybody's relationship is unique, you know, to their relationship. Right. So what works for them, you know, if it works, it works, right. You know, and so I think everybody is different, but what works for us, I mean, that's for us and that's what works, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. What do you say to people that just give up after hitting a couple roadblocks with their significant other and be like, look, okay, this just ain't gonna work. We tried everything when they really didn't try everything, but they say they did. We tried everything and it's just feeling like we're not on the same page. We're not compatible. This isn't gonna work. Like, what do you say to those people?
So I have issues with that compatibility thing. Because if I stuck on that compatibility thing, I'd be like, we not compatible. Right. Mm-hmm. When it comes to so many different things, we not compatible. We like opposites. And so if I looked at that, we wouldn't have gotten as far as where we gotten, because I would say that we not compatible. So I had to move out of that and just realize you got some strengths, I got some strengths. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully my strengths can offset your weaknesses and your weaknesses can offset my strength. That's why when they say opposites attract, that's how you really go to that next level. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that was wired like me. You know what I'm saying? Before she came on the scene, had I moved forward in a relationship with them, I would not be the man I am today. Man, when I tell you, bro, God has used his woman here to make me, to grow me, like to challenge me, like to keep me humble. Like I'm a different person because of her. Like she brought out the best in me. Sometimes she knew it. Sometimes she didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Somebody get Jeremy a tissue. He about to cry.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like I wouldn't be here. And so I'm quick to always pay that type of homage or respect because I know like where we are now, but it wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
It was a lot that we had to fight through. And we grew up together. That's something I used to hear. Shut up, Pops. Yeah, that's something my pops and moms would always say is that they grew up together. You know what I'm saying? When they got married, they said, we're going to do life. We're going to build this thing. And I think that's part of what gave us that foundation.
Oh, as a bar.
Yeah.
Y'all grew up together.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Oh, not like not realistically, like
no,
y'all
like
actually
in life,
grew.
like experience. And
Oh,
I got that from Pops. Like
that's dope.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between growing up together and then outgrowing each other?
Ooh.
That's a whole nother episode. We could try.
Oh,
but you need some more context, but that's heavy.
Because a lot of people say, I was with this person like, all through my 20s. And then once I get to a certain age, it's like, I just outgrew them. Is it possible to just not be willing to grow up together and just label it as outgrowing someone? Or can both exist? I mean, I think both can exist, but like,
this podcast
which one do you think that most people just take and most people are willing to do? Like, you think people are willing to put in the work to grow up together? Or you think they just like, nah, I outgrew this person, I'm good?
You want me to go or you want to go first?
Oof, I know I'm not qualified. I'm going to listen. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
So I think when we look at the phrase, is that tells us everything. When you say grow up together, that's two people growing together. But when somebody says, I've outgrown you, that means somebody stayed here, but the other person kept growing. And that happens often because if this person's stuck in their ways, they don't want to make it changes, they always blaming you. But this person here finds the higher ground, keeps growing, keeps making adjustments, keeps leveling up. But this person want to stay the same way. That's unattractive.
True. But what if this person that's growing didn't do what you and Tracy did to help each other grow together? Like, what if this person was just concerned about their growth and not their spouse's growth as well? What if they were selfish? So
you just answered your own question. I mean that's what it is. I mean, it's selfishness and not selflessness.
Right.
So
sound like the person needs options. Like you just need somebody as a backup.
What?
Definitely not.
Right.
Sorry, y'all, I'm not in spirit.
No, you're not. But I'll say
I'm like,
this.
hold on, you gotta hold you down. Like, hold on real quick. You gonna leave me? You gonna leave me? I helped you build the rocket ship, and you gonna leave me with no gas?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say this, and that's a good point, right? There has to be that time of selflessness, right? When I first was like, yo, I'm gonna quit my job and speak, I needed her to still work for Redstone, Arsenal. Like she worked for the Army base, she worked for the government, defense contract. I needed her to keep doing that. She's like, no. I know you. Hyper, full of energy, all over the place. You need structure, organization. We're going to build it together. That's why I say we wouldn't be here if she ain't step back and say, no, I'm going to follow you in the plan that you set for me. But then years later, when we up here running, through counseling, I realized like, man, this not necessarily like my girl's passion or dream. So remember the conversation we had? I asked you like, boo, what you trying to do?
Right. Oh, I mean, I've done quit multiple times.
Yeah, I wouldn't say quit. You just stepped down.
I stepped down.
Nah, she stepped out of the way. She said, this ain't for me. Somebody else.
And then came, and what was my response every time?
Do whatever makes you happy.
Facts. Yeah. I'm like, I'm good. Because what I'm not going to do is keep you chained to this here because it's not going to benefit what we doing. I need you to be in a good place.
Yes.
When you told me you was ready to go into like maybe hospital administration, remember I got in trouble.
Anyways. But I mean, I always came back.
I started making calls. I called all my homeboys. I got one of my homeboys who's the president of a hospital. I'm like, hey, bro, my wife a beast. Stop playing. He's like, bet, send her resume. She can have whatever, a list of positions. And you didn't like that too much.
I didn't.
She's like, let me get it on my own. I was just trying to hold her.
To get it out
You
Tracy, like, I'm like that. It'll take time, but I got it.
I'm like, but you ain't got to. Let me upgrade you. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
ahead.
I was going to say, can you touch on how important it is for Tracy to be in the right headspace or emotionally? Like for you as your responsibility, like she can handle her own, but for you, how much do you prioritize making sure she's in the right?
They not ready for it. This high level stuff.
Yeah.
No, on God, this high level stuff.
Yeah.
You gave me a great alley-oop, and I promise y'all, she in the spirit.
Yeah.
And I thought about bringing it up, but I was like, nah, people gonna just try to talk about like think I'm trying to just brag on how dope I am.
Yeah.
I'm on that energy all day. I promise you, y'all come in the house any given moment, I might be on the call making a call, but I'm wiping down the counter, bro. I need our house to be like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
I need that thing to be smooth. If I know you done had a stressful day, by the time I get home with the kids, I'm in the car like, Jewel, I promise you, girl, I'll take your tablet for a week if you come in here loud. Y'all better keep the energy down. Y'all go outside. I'm giving them a whole heads up. I need my girl in the best headspace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been times I didn't hit my team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Send a mass text. Like, hey, man, don't be hitting Tracy with the little silly things. You got something, hit it to me. She got 9 different emails.
Yeah.
My wife's a beast. She got a lot going on. We trying to take stuff off her plate.
Yeah.
So I'm big on like that energy.
Yeah.
I'm big on making sure she got her peace. I'm like, you go get you a massage every day if you want to, doggone it. You go get your nails done whenever you want to. You know what I'm saying? You go get a facial whenever you want. I know how important that is because if she good, I'm good. But if she ain't good,
right.
oh, bro, that's a wrap.
But how
You know
long
what
did
I'm
it
saying?
take you to get there?
I don't know. How long did it take me to get there? Have I always been dope like that?
No.
Oh, that was quick. That was quick.
No, boo-boo.
You feel me? Might be like, no. No.
So negative.
Here you go. Here you go. You gotta take off.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it took him a while. I think like when
To really know.
And to understand, like, you know, when I said I'll be trying to be extra excited, but you know, how I'm even kill, like I feel like I thrive off of peace harmony and good energy.
And cleanliness.
Yeah. Yes. Like I thrive off of those things, like the extra, the hyper, you know, I'm very orderly.
Yeah.
Like I do not like things to be out of place. I do not like things to be out of order. And I think once he learned that, you know, like he says, he used to come to me extra excited.
Yep.
Like once he learned that, I mean, we have been like good.
One time she was like, you just be up in here on the phone all loud and stuff. I'm like, I'm on the phone. But I realized like that energy can be a bit much, especially if you're on her computer. So now I go outside and I take a call outside. What up, boy? So half the time when I hit you and that energy be high, I'm far from her.
Oh, I believe it.
Right.
I believe it. I've noticed how you reference Tracy, even the things that we get excited about.
Right.
And I've learned it don't sound like oh, bro, let me talk to my wife to see if she gonna support her or not because, you know, we can't go down without her. It sounds like she's so important. You know that me getting excited is only half the thing. Right. If Tracy good with it, then it's a go. Right. But if not, we'll figure something else out. Facts. And it never comes off as negative or it never comes off as, oh, you know, she's a party pooper. It comes off as, this is my half. So like from somebody who's looking forward to that, it's exciting because you want somebody who other people can share the value in the same way that you do. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it makes my level of respect for what y'all got and for her as my big sis, it just ups it even more because it lets me know that I'm accountable to whoever I bring into my life to make sure that other people understand the value that I have.
Absolutely.
But you also have to be willing to work for it.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, I think, there's some conversations I might have when it comes to business dealings or something, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not even going to give that to her. It's almost like the president. They'd be like, this not even going to make it to his office. Like, he going to veto this. It's like, it's some things, she not going for that. But it's likewise. Ed might hit her with a gig and be like, Jeremy ain't flying there. Can they do this? You better have a drop. He ain't going for that. She know not to even come to me with certain things.
Right. And I won't. Yeah. And some things he doesn't even need to know about.
Agreed.
You know, because, you know, that will, you know, kill his energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So know.
You're protective of his too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That goes both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Some things, I mean, he won't even know about. Or it may come up later and he'd be like, when did that happen? Think like, you didn't even need to know.
Right.
You know, like it's just not important.
Protect his peace. Yeah. Look at y'all.
But I think that's why we win. So as my pops and moms would say, like, you know, we grew up together and we still figuring this thing out. For sure. You know what I'm saying? We still trying to get systems in place so that we can be even more effective and we can be even more present with our kids. Last night, me and Jackson had a little moment after I had to tap his little butt.
Oh,
Can I just tell y'all about Jackson real quick?
bro.
Let me tell you something.
Are we ending it on this? Because this is going to make me get into a goofy mode.
Yeah,
Like,
we
bro,
gonna
this
end it
is
on
hilarious.
All the deep stuff is done. I go in Jackson's room.
okay.
So Tracy says, shoot, I forgot to put Jackson down. I go in his room. He watches his little tablet. I walk in his room. He laid on his bed like this.
It's the angle for
Just
me.
like this. Hey, daddy. I'm like, what's up, buddy? Just trying to go to bed. So I move the covers to tuck him in. And as soon as I lift the covers, I smell that pee. I'm like, did you pee on yourself? No, daddy. Did you pee on yourself? Yeah, daddy. I'm like, bro. So I'm like, why didn't you say something? He said, Mommy gave me fruit. I'm like, he just threw you under the bus, boo. Because you know how fruit, like watermelon, turn to liquid real quick.
Bro.
My man, like, Mommy gave me fruit.
Bro, but he wasn't leaving the episode though.
Oh, no,
he's
bro.
like,
My man was like,
he's like, this is a parental problem. I'm in my
you
space.
feel
Oh my
me?
Regardless.
goodness. Okay.
This show must continue.
Yeah.
So then last question. Before y'all had kids, were y'all in alignment on how they were going to be raised, or did y'all have to figure that out as y'all went with each child?
Dang, that's a question, Chris.
I think we still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Joy
I
had it good.
don't even think we talked about it. Like we didn't really. I mean, I guess
we just been like
that was
freestyling
maybe
this
the
thing.
unresponsible thing to do, but we definitely freestyle parent.
Yeah.
Like I parent, a little bit more strictly. I think you would say. Is that a word? Strictly?
You're more of an enforcer.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm more of an enforcer. There you go. And Jeremy is an enforcer / fun parent.
I'm the fun one, but I definitely enforce.
Yeah. But we definitely, I think, parents, we just be freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We freestyle. We
Jewel,
never had a discussion.
Okay.
But Jewel, I mean, this chick had Jewel custom embroidery pillows when she was first born. Custom bedding, chandeliers, like Jewel's whole Jackson didn't even have a bedroom to my man was a nomad.
Wait a minute.
Right. We didn't even have a
No
bed. My man had a pack and play. No crib.
He was
My
like,
man was sleeping in the stroller.
They was like, this is ministry. You gonna learn the story of Jesus. Watch this. You want to see a manger?
It's like the first kid you go all out, then the second kid we brought Jackson home was like, dang, we ain't got no bed for my man.
Ain't got nothing.
I went to Target, got like a little package. Like,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
But we
hilarious.
knew. But now our parents got him spoiled. My man got Maseratis, motorcycles upstairs.
Right.
It's
He got
ridiculous.
more cars than we do.
He got more cars, like literally electric cars. Like, we're not talking about little toy trucks anyway. But we still kind of figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm really believing, to recap and wrap it up, I'm really believing that as we stay in one accord, we find more mentors and more advisors. And then we do what the word says and lean not to our own understanding. Because there's been some things when she wasn't feeling, and I'm like, I'm telling you, boo. And then they look up and it's like, we dodged the bullet. Or sometimes she's like, I'm telling you, honey, this is what we should do. And I was like, all right, finally, all right, we'll do it. And then we start winning. So, we kind of protected each other. But I believe that as long as we keep communicating and keep growing individually, we've had that conversation, you know what I'm saying? Keep growing individually, we're going to naturally grow together. And that's how we're going to keep winning. Just like that.
Nice.
And then you're going to see them where?
We're going to go from one level to the next level. Then we're going to look up and we're going to be at the top. Hey, let's get it. Yeah, let's go.
What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Now it's time to get the merch. Go to shopnextlevel.co. In the promo code, put podcast and get you 20% off. All right, see you next week.
I'm on another level.